In this text, Mr. Depp, you text Mr. Bettany, let's burn Amber, 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
Oh,
June 11,
man, these are some
2013,
spicy texts.
Amber's, let's drown her before we burn her. After you said, let's drown her before we burn her, Mr. Depp, you said, I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she is dead. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about the woman who would later become your wife.
Yes, I did.
Okay. I'm going to properly stop the booze thing, darling. Drank all night before I picked Amber up to fly to LA this past Sunday. Ugly, mate. No food for days. Powders. Half a bottle of whiskey. 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas.
1,000 of
pills,
them.
2
Oh my
bottles
gosh,
of
that's
Champers
probably
on plane.
true.
And what do you get? An angry aggro engine in a fucking blackout, screaming obscenities and insulting any fuck who got
He's talking about her.
I'm done. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. Read that again. I'm admittedly too fucked in the head to spray my rage at the one I love. For little reason as well.
He's talking about her.
That guy. But pills are fine. And this is a text that you sent to Patti Smith. My darling Patti Lee. I miss you and worship you, and there is nothing wrong between us. Never, ever could that happen. I've just been so beyond busy with film here in Boston and then back to LA for kiddies. When I was in NYC, they were brief visits and fucked and charged by horrific fights with Amber. I fucked up and drank and got shitty. Was so disappointed in myself.
Are they unable to highlight?
Almost walked to your place at about 3:30 a.m. the last time I was there, unable to stop tears. You sent this text to Miss Heard, and it says, it's away. I've let it go. Went too far. We/I tend to do that. I always regret it when I jump, or worse, when you jump. I don't want to be conditioned to continue that behavior. Therefore, I'll put in heavy work with Shrank. I'm sorry for being less, for your disappointment in me, for my behavior. I'm a fucking savage. Gotta lose that. Gonna lose that. The devil is all around, right? I wish I were able to bring even just a glimmer of a smile to the pretty face of my most gorgeous of dreams and darkest nightmares. I love you far too much for you and I to be these heinous, slinging insults like we do/did. It is not anything that I am particularly proud of to have participated in, and I regret giving it life because, motherfucker, how when we fight, little girl, how do we end up on the very edge of the precipice? And why? Wish I knew. Goddamn. And know that you are right. I am well aware that I should have been bigger than the moment, and that it will never again manifest in negative experiences. It can be done. What a killer concept to visualize. Wish you were in this lunatic's proximity. Be careful out there. I adore you.
Okay.
Did I read that right?
You did.
You can
Actually,
take that down, Michelle.
Didn't really see anything wrong with that text at all.
On January 17th, 2013, Mr. Depp, you texted the following. For the idiot cow, 3 exclamation points. Next text. Will do. I'll smack the ugly cunt around before I let her in. Don't worry. And apologies again to the court. The jury for this language.
I'm so sorry. This guy says all the time.
Did that worthless hooker arrive? Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Confirm that this is a text message that you sent on April 9th, 2015 to your sister.
Yes, I see that, yes.
To clarify, is sis in those texts, is that your sister, or it could be Amber's sister too, right? Or the other.
Sis, I was referring to Whitney.
Whitney. Okay, so Amber's sister. Okay.
Yes, Amber's sister.
You said, I'm all right. I ... though I never, ever want to lay eyes on that filthy whore, Amber A. Most embarrassing. Mr. Depp, on April 26, 2015, Jerry Judge, he writes you and says, "Hi, boss. Just wanted to say if you and Amber need anything, just let me know. I will be there in 20 minutes. Johnny, it is lovely to see how you and Amber are so happy. The other day, watching the two of you sitting on the bench by the sea was fantastic. The two of you need happiness, and it is really great to see that. Love to you and Amber. XOXO, Jerry." Did I read that right? And beneath that, you texted him back and you said, "Thank you, my dear Jerry. Very, very kind, mate.
Oh, this
We've
is
been
so
perfect.
disingenuous.
All I had to do was send the monster away and lock him up. We've been happier than ever." All caps. "Love you, brother. JD."
It's so
Did I read that right?
dishonest.
You did, sir.
You can't change what other people do or how other people act. You can only work on yourself. Yeah, he's trying to point to verbal abuse. The problem is
215, yes.
the verbally abusive statements aren't
Your Honor.
to her.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention in this message to the second text down, which is a text from you to Dr. Kipper, Dr. David Kipper, on June 28th, 2015. "Thank you, my darling Kipper. All those technical abbreviations left me flummoxed and in the dark. Soon, soon, I must see you and just hang out. My deformed finger and I have no friends. By the way, Amber and I have been absolutely perfect for 3 fucking months solid. I've locked my monster child away in a cage deep within, and it has fucking worked. We're goddamn best friends now. Amazing. Big love to you, my brother, JD." Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
It's just the bottom text that I'm going to direct your attention to, Mr. Depp. This is a text that you sent to Stephen Deuters on May 14th, 2015. "Need to discuss the news helicopters hovering outside the house this morning. I'm ready to shoot a motherfucker. But don't worry, the monster is not involved." Correct?
I see that, yes.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to direct your attention to line 24. And this is a text message from you to Stephen Deuters, your personal assistant at the time, on October 31st, 2013. And in this text message from you to Mr. Deuters on October 31st, 2013, you write, "Thanks. She thinks that my Peruvian period has made me a monster and that I am ruining the relationship." You see that?
Yes, I do, sir.
The Peruvian
The highlighting
period
is
is a
weird.
reference to cocaine, is it not?
Yes, it is.
And again, think of the lunacy of this approach. And this is a common lawyer thing, right? Well, we want to show all these texts. These texts are to different people. They're months or years apart. They're not in a particular order. They're not crafting a narrative. It's just these
Mr. Depp, I'd
sound
like to
bites.
direct.
Is a jury going, "Oh my,"
And
every
in this
text?
text message on October 4th, 2014, you text someone, it's unclear who, you say, "I am going to quite gracefully glide into a massage of my broken back and neck. I shall exit in 1 hour, a monster. Shall we each swallow an E each, parentheses, or perhaps it's MDMA, at around 8 p.m. and go to dinner with a few of my wee team at a wonderful Peruvian spot. Let us enjoy this night, my brother. Let us reward ourselves for the hard work and misery of the heat that we push ourselves to conquer every goddamn day. The Shatter." Did I read that right?
You did.
Isn't 100% of Rottenborn questioning considered prejudicial? Well, yeah. I mean, that's, all evidence against someone is prejudicial. That's the point of it being introduced. The question is whether its probative value outweighs its prejudicial impact. That's the rule of evidence. So if it is better at making a fact more or less likely to be true than it is prejudicial, then it comes in. And that scale tips heavily towards probative value. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to have any evidence against anybody ever.
Mr. Depp, we're going to take a look at two text messages here, or 3 text messages. On August 4th, 2012, you exchanged text messages with Stephen Deuters, one from you to him and one from him to you. Do you see that midway through the page?
Yes.
In those text messages, you write to Mr. Deuters, your personal assistant. Yay, where is the little baggie you built in LA? And he says, special baggie, I gave you can in 1480 kitchen. Not sure where it went after that. Thought I heard you say something along the lines of, I know what to do with it, exclamation point. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
This is a text, Mr. Depp, where you say, I use marijuana a lot, 3 exclamation points. I take pot. So this text exchange, Mr. Depp, between you and Marilyn Manson on September 11th, 2012, you text him, the pill and the plant stuff keep me calm and detached. And he texts you back, I have lots of reefers, many reefers, and cookies, which are weird, but pot is funny, backwards gateway drug. You see that?
I do, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Sounded like a Trump text. I got lots of reefers, many reefers, some cookies
take
too,
that
but
down,
pot is
Michelle,
weird, a
please.
little bit weird.
You could please
Terrific
pull up.
reefers. The best reefers. Wonderful, really.
So this is an email that you sent to Elton John. You write, on the other side of the coin, my kids have fallen head over heels in deep love with Amber, my girl. And that pressure off my shoulders is fucking gone. That is, until the French extortionist, parentheses, ex-cunt, attempts to brainwash them against her, which I'm sure is imminent. I read that right, didn't I?
You did read that very well.
The text at the top of that page,
Yes.
it's a text exchange between you and Erin Borum. Erin Borum, you testified as one of Dr. Kipper's nurses, right? After she's telling you that she's watching Black Mass for the 3rd time in a row, you write, I was high as a motherfucker when I made that film. Ha, ha, ha. You see that? Did I read
do
that
see
right?
Yes, you did read that right.
This is an email exchange between you and Stephen Duders, your personal assistant, in April of 2019. You see that?
Yes.
And it's 2 pages, I believe. So let's go to the 2nd page, please. Or the bottom of right there. And you see that on April 19th, 2012, you wrote him, I got drunk and destroyed my room. There are hookers and animals in here. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
He writes simply, watch out for Mike Tyson. Have you numbed? Correct. And then you write, don't want nummies. Thank you. Is it okay to put on a condom after the fact? I mean, if I just wear it for the rest of the day, like that works, doesn't it? I've had to kill a few of the animals for sustenance. I've made quite a mess. There's blood and animal tracks everywhere. I read that right?
You did.
I'd like to take a look at the text that you sent to Paul Bettany on July 11th. You write to Mr. Bettany, missing you and yours, and await our dangle on the island. You may have to drink for me. I, of course, pounded and displayed ugly colors to Amber on a recent journey.
Pounded
I am an
liquor, you
insane
dummy.
person, and not so fair-headed after too much of the drink. Weed, pills, fine. Booze, my capacity is too large and I won't stop. Ugly and sad, oh, how I love it. This is a text message from exchange between you and Christy, in which Christy texts you, she wants to talk to me. She doesn't know what to do. Loves you, but doesn't know always what to do. She's worried about it all. And you write to her, it was not pleasant today. I wasn't aware she had another goddamn photo shoot tomorrow. That's really why she fucking left. I don't need actress bullshit and her fucking ambition. That's what you wrote to your sister about Amber on July 10th, 2013. Did I read that right?
You did.
And in this email to Amber, the day after this plane flight, you write her and you say, once again, I find my place, start over. Once again,
Oh, you
I
didn't
find
read that one
myself
well.
in a place of shame and regret. Of course, I am sorry. I really don't know why or what happened, but I will never do it again. I want to get better for you and for me. I must. My illness somehow crept up and grabbed me. I can't do it again. I can't live like that again. And I know you can't either. I must get better, and I will, for us both, starting today, I love you. Again, I'm so sorry, so sorry. I love you and feel so bad for letting you down. Yours. Did I read that right?
You did.
In this text that you send to Paige Heard, Amber's mom, on August 19th, 2014, you say, I couldn't have made it without her. I would have gone for a swim and swallowed a big drink of ocean without her, to be honest. It was a hell of my own doing, and your little girl walked through with me step by step. I know you're already proud of her, but if you'd have seen her in action, amazing. It was an exercise of monumental patience and instinct. I wouldn't be alive, sweetheart. There were more than a few times when I thought it would be more simple to take that route. It was Amber and Amber only that got me through this, and it was not easy. Thank you for her first. And thank you and that sweet fucker David for all of your words of support. I'm through the other side now, I think. I hope. All this boy's love, your son Outlaw. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
So in this email to Mr. Witkin in June of 2013, you write to him, brain is on full tilt. The circus never stops. Feel physically fucked constantly. I'm wired up so tight that I'm barely able to deal with people on any level that is remotely enjoyable. So this is an email. You've been in pre-production and shooting in Pirates 5 for the last couple of weeks, correct? By March 6, 2015?
What was the question, sorry?
By March 6, 2015, you'd been in pre-production and shooting for Pirates 5 for a couple of weeks in Australia, right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So your email to him, to Mr. Duders, your personal assistant, reads, honestly, I will not again be doing anything that involves the discussion of furthering my embarrassment of having whored for all these fucking wasted pieces of shit, nothing, years on characters that I so ignorantly started to think of as my legacy. Every hunting fight, every fucking time, I held my ugliness and rage deeper down and get in check when there was still room in my head to do such a thing. Did I read that right?
You did.
So you can see these texts were sent on February 26th and February 27th, 2015. You text Mr. Holmes, your personal assistant, have you heard from Manson's Ryan? Now, Ryan was Marilyn Manson's personal assistant, or he worked for him. That's what you understood, correct?
At the time, yes.
Okay. And then you say, yes, and of course, yes, please, and you will pay Ryan for it. 2 exclamation points, 2 question marks. And then you write, disappear, we should have more happy pills. 3 exclamation points, 2 question marks. Can you? Followed by 3 exclamation points.
3
Did I
question
read that
marks.
correctly?
You
No.
Okay.
No,
Can
he
you
didn't.
take that down and please pull up
Although there
Exhibit
were question marks
349?
instead of exclamation points.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. He's listening to you.
Snuck it in there at the end.
In this text message, you say, yay, hello, Master D. I say, I do believe that Ryan, parentheses, Munson's, gave you a wee baggage for me. Where does it reside? X. Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And the where it says Munson's, that's a typo and should have said Manson's, correct?
I don't know.
It's a nickname.
Okay. And on March 2nd, a few days before Miss Heard arrives in Australia, you text Nathan Holmes and you say, no, you're not. Why? That is not a part of the job description. And I'm telling you now, any of you guys start to lecture me, I just do not want to hear it. No stupid bullshit about sappy bollocks. I am a grown fucking man and I will not be judged. Did I read that right?
You did.
Keep going, please. And I will never, ever live in this world cage any longer. I'll do whatever I damn well please. Okay. Did I read that right?
You did.
Then if we go on to the next page, please.
Okay.
Continue and say, I don't want to depend on others for things like that. I'm not unhappy. I am insane. Big difference. Did I read that right?
You did.
No system. Then you say, I don't want to risk it for you or anyone. So I can get what I need. Also, may I be ecstatic again? Helps. Color me deceased. And you say, need more whitey stuff ASAP, brother man, and the e-business, please. I'm in bad shape. Say nothing to nobody. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Okay. On this, which you wrote on with your severed finger, you wrote in some mix of paint or blood, starring Billy Bob and Easy Amber.
Yes,
She was
sir.
banging Billy Bob Thornton because she was doing the movie with Billy Bob. I'm gonna say it, guys. This lawyer is
if you recognize
dying right
this
now on
as,
Cross.
Another mirror on which you wrote with your in blood and paint after your finger injury in March of 2015.
After she
Yes,
cut
sir.
my
That's
finger
in the
off.
same bathroom.
Okay. On this lampshade, which appears to be sitting on the ground, you write some mixture of blood or paint. Good luck and be careful at top.
Yes, correct.
Correct?
Dude, I do not know
Yes.
how this helps them, showing that
I thought it was
he's
good advice.
Okay.
got. That was good advice. This man had his finger chopped off, and you're just dwelling on the fact that
Now-
he did. You should just wait for her to have her counter testimony. You should
You have
avoid this shit
never-
at all costs.
And I know
Yeah.
Ms. Heard will give her account of this.
Every
of this
question is about
incident later in
what
the trial.
happened.
Just to be clear,
Is
you have
reminding us that
never
she cut his
seen
finger.
Amber inflict
She cut the
harm
tip
on
of his finger.
herself. So in this text message from you to Dr. Kipper on March 19th, 2015, you text him, my most sincere apologies to you, Doc. I understand your decision based on my immunity to do the right thing. And I truly do thank you for your concern. I must apologize for not having had the presence of mind
I just
to
read this. This
respect
is
the
real
man who has
stupid.
been the most kind and who has done more for me than anyone ever. There was no call for my spineless and base behavior toward you. I honestly understand the reasons for your concerns in your letter and can say to you now, they no longer are an issue. Thank you for everything. I have chopped off my left middle finger as a reminder that I should never cut my finger off again. I love you, brother, Johnny.
It's
That's-
a
that-
Did I
joke,
read that right?
you
You did.
idiot.
And Ms. Heard was not on that text message, was
You
she?
are fucking
No, she was
stupid.
not.
Obviously, it's a
Can you
joke,
take
but
that down and put up exhibit
the
499?
jury, you just gotta hope the jury knows it's a joke. It's a joke.
mean,
though.
any-
I know it's a joke.
I don't know who couldn't figure out that that's obviously a joke. I've cut off my middle finger to remind me not to cut off my finger again.
From you to Dr. Kipper's nurse, Erin Borum, in October of 2015. You say, and I'll just try to read the relevant parts, sent huge text to Kipper, no response. He's an odd duck, old Kipper. This is the second time that he's held off giving me meds by blackmailing me into seeing him. The first time I had just chopped my finger off. Oh well, I want off of the majority of the stuff anyway. I guess that's a new way to stop.
So this is all supposed to mean that he that
I read
she
that
chopped
right.
his finger, that he chopped his own finger
did
off. That's not what any
Amber
of
is
this
not-
means.
So in this text message, Mr. Depp, that you sent on December 30th, 2015, you tell him, Amber's father, below is a text that I never hit send on from a week or so again. It was in response to you. Hey, brother, I love you too, more than you can ever imagine. It's rare in life when one meets a kindred spirit, a couple of madmen with their thirst for further. There have only been maybe 3 people in my entire life of your ilk. You're a rare specimen, and our friendship means everything. Yes, I fucked up and went too far in our fight. I cannot and will not excuse my part inside these dramas.
Whose fight?
But I can promise you with all confidence, they will never happen again. My most sincere apologies if I've let you down. Love you, brother. Did I read that right?
You did read that right.
So, Mr. Depp, this is a text message you sent to Whitney Hurd on March 9th, 2013. And in this text message, you say, you blow that up as best you can, please. We had a slightly grim morning, but not a doozy. We kissed, she splits and texts me sweet stuff. I do the same right back and nada. So I just want to know that she is safe. I've heard nothing, just worried about her, XXX JD. Did I read that right?
Yes.
Okay.
That
So
makes
that
him look
text
terrible.
was sent on March 9th, 2013. With that in mind, this is sent on March 12th, 2013. So we can see the top text is from you to Miss Hurd. And you say, just thought you should know that there exists a book titled Disco Bloodbath. That's all. And Amber wrote you back and said, we need that book, exclamation point. And you wrote back and said, is it about last Friday night? By any chance? I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
I think you're really, yeah.
Amber writes you and says, we need that book. And then she writes you and says, is it about last Friday night by any chance? And you write, how can you make me smile about such a hideous moment? Yes, it is. Funny bitch. I fucking love you, you cunt. You wrote that on Tuesday, March 12th, 2013, referring to the previous Friday
you just
night.
disarmed him calling
March
her a cunt earlier.
2013. Mr. Depp, these are 2 texts that you sent to Isaac Baruch. The jury's heard from on October 17th, 2016 and 18th, 2016. Can you just read for the jury?
That's the redacted version?
Yes, please.
Holy crap. What did they take out?
Mr. Rottenborn is the slippery whore that I donated.
I'd like to
my
put her ovaries in a
husband
vice.
for a while, staying there.
And can you please read the text under that, please?
Certainly.
Certainly.
I'm not
Do it
sure.
in Jack Sparrow voice.
Well, I'll read it. You say,
No, I'll read it. It's fine if you're
No.
happy to hear that.
I'll go ahead and read
Oh,
it,
you
sir.
go.
You tell Mr. Baruch on October 18th, 2016,
He seems pretty
Hopefully-
eager to read it.
that rotting corpse is decomposing in the fucking trunk of a Honda Civic, 2 exclamation points. Did I read that right?
Why wouldn't you let Depp read that?
And I'm not going to read the whole text, Mr. Depp, but if you start 4 lines down, you say, and I'm on such a beastly head fuck from earlier that I feel like I won't know what to do or how to be. I feel like I only just continue to piss you off. Believe me, I never want to hurt you and always have never wanted to hurt you. Never. I don't want to be in that position anymore. Not ever again. I feel pushed and I push back. I feel hurt. I will hurt back. A fight commences. I will fight back. And obviously so will you. But I can't again to see it coming. It puts us both in some stubborn space where neither of us can hear, much less understand one another's position. Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
So, Mr. Depp, on
Force
September
from me,
6th,
Pooh.
2013, you send Miss Hurd a text that says, thank you for your letter. I love you.
Yes.
Scroll
God,
down.
Bitch.
She writes, thank you for mine. Did I read that right?
You did.
And then you write, the only reason we go for the throat is love. Did I read that right?
You did.
And then she writes, my throat is yours.
Damn.
You're going to be the death of
Getting
me,
hot.
but I don't care. And then you write,
Whew.
I have other uses for your throat, which do not include. I have other.
Well, it is Valentine's Day
Wrote,
or
which
Father's
do
Day.
not include injury.
Sorry, could you read that again?
These are your words, sir. Right? I read that.
You did.
Could you repeat that 10 times, please?
That was such a troll. Could you read that again?
Next week, Johnny Depp launches a series of Hallmark
Can you
greeting
pull up
cards for
Exhibit
Mother's
4?
Day.
I don't
The front of
think.
the card is, "I have purposes for your throat." You open up the card, it says, "Other than injury."
Does this guy think that
This
that
is
was
a
a
journal
damaging
that
text?
and this is an entry that you made on looks like September 27th, 2015. And if you can scroll down, Michelle, to the bottom that starts with, "I love and adore you." Mr. Depp, you write in this journal, and just to be clear, this journal is something that you and Amber would write notes to each other in that the other one would be supposed to read, correct?
Yes, we wrote notes to each other for that.
So don't ever do this, people.
And you
This
wrote,
is where
"I
these
love and
journals end
adore
up.
you. I can't express how sorry I am for having stooped so low as to have spewed such vicious untruths for the sole purpose of hurting you. I am far from being proud of myself for such a," next page, "grievous error, shameful. I will never allow myself to resort to such disgraceful and odious behavior, no matter what." Did I read that right?
You did.
Again,
They skipped the next sentence. It was all about how we have a loving and beautiful life together.
yeah. And again,
Has that already been entered
an
in evidence?
apology for taking an argument too far with words is not an
It
admission
mentions
of
an appendix exhibit.
abuse.
Hey, he says things verbally that are hurtful, and she
told him
throws
to
a
get
can of
claims
mineral
to
spirits
get.
at him. It seems fair.
Is it 396?
You know, that's normal, right?
Rears, tears, beers, shears, sapphires, leers, beers.
Oh my God, I hope I never sent a
Years.
text like that.
Wakiers, Mouseketeers, ears. I can go all night. DJ Maxipad, the old vintage motherfucker you went for, dumbass. Did I read that
I
right?
I was signing off as dumbass.
And then below that, you write, "Don't call me again and do not expect anything from me." You see that?
I do see that.
Did I read
It's
that
2
right?
years
If
before
only
they
he'd
even get
stuck to
married.
You really did.
Let's go to the next page, please.
If only he'd
Eat
done it.
salad with your equine AD bovine yerps. And thanks for the support. Have a great shoot. You sicken me. Leave me fucking
So I
be,
guess
you
Johnny's a
fucking
carnivore.
squarehead. Your display of guilt and matronliness as a lesbian camp counselor was plenty. Your future is on display. Best of luck.
Best if luck.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the tunes. Bye, JD.
By the
Don't
way,
call
I and
again.
O are next
I'll
to each
begin
other on the
feel
keyboard,
embarrassed
folks.
for you. Go away, coach. Hup. Done. Did I read that right?
No.
You left out a done.
Go away, coach. Done. Hup. Done.
If anybody can read, it's Johnny Depp. I mean, that's his job.
Mr. Depp, if you can take a look at the text message at the bottom of the first page. You write to Miss Heard the day after the incident on May 21st, 2016. Just let me know when you have a minute and I'll give you a call. Nothing I have to say to you should elicit anything but a sense of ease. All my love and profound apologies, Jay. Did I read that right?
You did.
And on May 22nd, 2016, you wrote the text that we just saw. You also texted Miss Heard, "Sorry if was a bit. Please know that my hurt toward you is over. My apologies are eternal and belong to you. Solid X." Did I read that right?
You did.
Can we please pull up
He can read.
Exhibit 587?
He did that
This is an
earlier.
audio
He said you
recording that,
continue to read
will
things
take about 5 or
accurately.
6 minutes. So it might be-
So pour out an art bag, a bow, more love rug. Spirits flow as the ones who get on